Okay. Raise your hand if you remember reading If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Okay? There are lots of other books that go with it. Okay? Okay. Cat a cupcake, dog a donut, pig a pancake, moose a muffin. Okay? There's a new one called If You Give a Mouse a Brownie. Okay? So, today we are looking at cause and effect, okay, and sequencing. So, understanding sequencing to remember cause and effect, okay? So remember cause, something happens, we do something, and then because of doing something, something else happens, right? Okay? So this book goes, there's cause and effect in this book and sequencing, okay? So we are looking at those things today. So while we're reading, we're going to stop and talk about different things. So, what do you know about these books? Berkeley, what do you know about these books?
They're all If You Give.
Okay, so it's kind of like a series, right? Okay, they're series books, good. What else do you know about these books, David?
That there keeps getting more bigger and bigger stuff.
Okay, bigger things keep happening, and it starts from a small thing, right? You've all read these before. Yeah, have you read this one?
No.
No? Okay, this is a new one. Some of you may have. Okay. What was something you remember from reading these books or having these books to you? Maybe something you remember from If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And what do you remember from If You Give a Mouse a Cookie?
If you give a mouse a cookie, I haven't read that book since
Jackson, if you give a mouse a cookie, what can you remember?
that he would ask milk.
Okay, so he's going to want milk, right? And then if he gets milk, he's going to want something else, right? And then from that, he gets something else. And it gets bigger. And then what happens at the end?
He wants another cookie.
He wants another cookie. And so if he gets another cookie, he's probably going to want some more milk. And then what do you think is going to happen?
It's going to repeat.
It's going to go start over again, okay? So if there is a cause and an effect, so what, if we think about if you give a mouse a cookie, what's the cause of, so the first thing is he gets a what?
A cookie.
A cookie. So that's our cause, and because of getting a cookie, what's the effect?
He wants milk.
He wants milk. Then we get milk, and then we get something else. So when he gets milk, right, if you give a mouse milk, he's going to ask you for a, remember?
A cookie?
No, he's going to ask you for a
Straw.
straw, okay? So when we're going through cause and effect, we're not going to do every little thing, okay? We're going to look at the big things that cause him to go from one thing to another, okay? Then we have sequencing. What is sequencing? Or the story goes in a certain order, right? So we have sequencing, and when we discuss sequencing, we talk about, we use certain words. What are certain words we use when we talk about sequencing? Brody?
Cause and effect.
No? When you're writing and you start with something, you say first.
Second.
No. First. Next. Then.
Last.
Last or finally. Okay, what are those words called? And I.
No.
Trip, what are those words called? First, next, then, and last. What kind of words are those? Help them out, Brody.
Transition words.
Transition words. What kind? Transition words.
That's what I was about
Okay.
to say.
So, we are going to read If You Give a Mouse a Brownie. Okay? What do you think? If you give a mouse a brownie, what do you think he's going to want to go with it? Samantha?
Ice cream.
Maybe ice cream. Okay. Then if he gets ice cream, Emma, what do you think?
Whipped cream.
Maybe whipped cream, Nevaeh?
Sprinkles.
Maybe sprinkles, Logan?
Something. A spoon.
Maybe a spoon. Okay. So if he gets a spoon, then what do you think might happen? Brody? Maybe. Okay. So we're going to read if you give a mouse a brownie. And while we're reading, we're going to do an anchor chart to discuss the cause and effect of things. Okay. So make sure you're listening. Okay. If you give a mouse a brownie, he's going to ask for some ice cream to go with it. When you give him the ice cream, he'll ask you for a spoon. He'll start drumming on the table. Drumming will get him so excited he'll want to start a band. Okay, so as we've started, we've seen that the first thing he wanted was what?
A brownie.
Abby, what did he want?
A brownie.
A brownie. And because of the brownie, he needed what?
Ice cream.
Kimberly, he needed what?
Ice
Ice cream. So now the ice cream becomes a cause, right? So because of the ice cream, he needed what? Raise your hand. He needed what, Anaya? A spoon. So now, is the spoon a cause of something?
Yes.
So the spoon caused him to want a band. Now, that band's going to want him to do something. There's lots of things we have to do to get ready for a band. Okay? So what do you think if he wants to start a band? What do you think the little boy is going to have to do? What do you think the mouse might have him do? What do you think the mouse might have him do, Nevaeh?
Play the drums.
Maybe play the drums. Okay? Abby?
Buy some drums.
Maybe buy some drums? What do you think? David, what do you think?
The boy might be in his band.
Okay, maybe he'll be on a band. So,
Darn it.
he got in a band. Okay, he wants to start a band. You'll have to play guitar. He'll want to put on a show. So you'll have to build a stage. Then you'll need spotlights and a microphone. When the stage is finished, so the stage is finished, what do you think the effect is? Kimberly, what do you think the effect is?
He would want to.
How do you get people to come to a show? How do you get people to come to a show, Isaac?
Music.
Okay, he's gonna have music. Berkeley?
Put it on papers.
Okay, he'll want to make lots of tickets. You'll have to find paper and markers. When the tickets are done, he'll decide to make posters as well. Okay, so because of our band, now we need,
Posters.
okay, we need tickets and posters. Okay, we need tickets and posters. Okay? He'll hang them all over the neighborhood. When he's out hanging them, it might start to rain. Uh-oh. What do you think rain is? What do you think it's going to be? Emma, it's going to be a cause. Okay, so now because of the rain, what do you think is going to happen? Luis, what do you think is going to happen?
The papers are gonna get wet.
Okay, maybe the papers are going to get wet. Emma,
He has to go outside and cancel the band.
okay, maybe he has to cancel the band. Nevaeh?
He has to go inside.
Maybe he has to go inside. So, it might start to rain. He'll fold some posters and make a little boat. So, because of the rain, now he's making a boat. Okay, do you think we've gotten to the biggest part of the story now?
Yes.
No? Okay, we'll see. Then he'll start to sail in a puddle. He'll get so wet, he'll start to sneeze. So we sailed in a boat, and because of the boat sailing,
Sneeze.
what happened?
Sneeze.
He started sneezing. He started getting what?
Wet.
A cold. So maybe it was cold outside,
And he got cold.
and he got cold, and so he started to sneeze. Okay? You'll have to put him in your pocket to stay nice and warm. When he peeks out of your pocket, he'll smell something delicious. The smell will remind him that he's hungry. So, right here, have we reached the most intense part of our story?
Yes.
What was the most intense part, the band or the rain?
Man.
Kimberly, what do you think?
The band?
Okay, well, he is starting a band and tickets and posters, but what was the highest part of our story? Abby. The rain, which caused him to what?
Started
Sneeze. So because of the sneezing, he had to go where? In what? In his pocket. So because he started sneezing, now we're in the pocket. And what are we doing in the pocket? What happened? What did it say?
He stuck his head out of it and smelled.
So because of being in the pocket, now we're warm
He smells something
and
It reminds
smelling.
him. Good. It reminds him of a brownie.
Okay, so we're smelling something. Okay, so we're smelling something. What did it say? It would remind him that he smells something delicious, which will remind him that he's hungry. You'll have to take him to the store to get a few things to nibble on. Of course, he'll want to have a picnic. So because he smelled something, now he wants what?
A picnic.
A picnic. So he needs a picnic. Oh my goodness, we need a picnic. When the sun comes out, you'll have to take him to the park. While you're setting up the picnic, he'll see a playground. And he'll jump on the swings. So, a picnic at the park causes what?
And to swing.
Now we have to swing. So what do you think the swing's going to make him do? Or might remind him of? If he's swinging, what do you think he might be reminded of? Brody?
The brownie?
Maybe the brownie? Why do you think he'd get reminded of the brownie?
Because he forgot to eat the brownie.
Maybe he forgot to eat it? He'll go as high as he can. When he looks up at the sky, he might notice a big white cloud. A big white cloud. So the swing is causing him to see what?
A big white
The clouds. And because of the clouds,
He wants a brownie. Maybe. You don't know if it's
do you think it reminds him of a brownie?
No,
Maybe.
it looks like the brownie.
The cloud will remind him of ice cream. He'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if you give him some ice cream,
He'll want a brownie.
he'll want a brownie to go with it.
That's right.
Okay? So, the cause of our clouds caused him to want what? Ice cream. An ice cream caused a brownie.
I like how we
Are you hungry?
Yes, I am. I'm starving.
Okay, so we have all this cause and effect. Okay? So what happened first? What words would you use to retell this story? What were those words we talked about at the beginning? Trip, Luis? What words would you use to retell the story, Berkeley?
First, next, then,
Last or finally, right? And those words are called what? Transition words. Okay? So, was the story, did it sequence? Did it have a sequence?
Yeah.
Okay? First we needed what?
Cause.
First we needed what? A brownie. And because of the brownie, then we needed
Ice cream.
And then,
Spoon.
and then,
Band.
and then,
Tickets.
tickets and posters, and then what happened?
Rain.
Rain, which caused us to
Boat
go sailing, which caused us to
Sneeze.
and then we had to be put in a
Pocket.
pocket, and then
Smell something.
something delicious. So that made us want
Picnic.
a picnic, which caused us to
Swing.
and then we saw a
Cloud.
which told us about,
Ice cream.
which made us want
Brownie.
a brownie. So all of this was first, and then all of these things happened, and lastly, he saw a cloud, which made him want ice cream, which made him want a brownie. Okay? So, how does this story help you with cause and effect? How does it help you remember cause and effect? How does this story help you remember? Okay, so there's a lot of things that happen because of something, right? So it's easy for us to remember that when something happens, because something happens, there's probably going to be an effect, right? If we see rain, I'm probably going to want to make a boat out of my posters, which I'm going to sail, and then I'm going to what? Sneeze, because I'm going to get cold. Like when you go play out in the rain, okay, you come in and you might have a sniffly nose, okay? So, what you're going to do, okay, is I'm going to give you a sentence strip. Looks like this, okay? And I'm going to give you some pictures, okay? They're not in order, okay? You have an ice cream, spoon, and tickets. You have a sailboat. What is this? A stage. Groceries, picnic, posters, clouds, brownie, and a swing, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to cut these out and you're going to glue them on here in the correct order. Okay? Now, we know that the story starts here and ends with what? With the same thing. So, you're going to glue them all on, and we're going to make a sequence circle. Okay? Because it just goes in a circle. Because now if he wants a brownie with the ice cream to go with it, he's probably going to need what? A spoon. And because of the spoon, he's going to start what?
A band.
Drumming, and he's going to start a band. Okay? So we're going to make a story sequence circle. Okay? So I'm going to give you this paper. I want you to cut them out. Okay? And glue them. I want you to do this pretty quick. Okay? I'm going to give us about 10 minutes to glue these down. Okay? When you're done, you can go ahead and get started on the little activity that you're going to do. What that activity is I'm going to give you a cup, okay? Some are going to be different sizes, okay? But you have a cup, you get some craft sticks, some Q-tips, okay? You get a couple different things, okay? And I'll get you some string. And you are going to create a character from one of the books. So you get to create a character. You can create a mouse or a moose or a pig or a cat or a dog. Okay? So you get to create one of the characters. Then you'll have to create a scene for the character and write an order of the events. Okay? So just like you're doing here, okay? you're going to have to create a character. I'm going to give you a piece of construction paper, and you're going to draw a scene. Okay? And you're going to tell me how you got to that scene. So maybe you liked If You Give a Mouse a Brownie when he started raining. So you're going to create a little mouse, and you're going to you're going to draw a scene, and then you're going to tell me, how did you get to the rain? Okay? Or the sailing in the book. Okay? So you're going to start with the story sequence, and if you finish that, then you move on to the project. Okay? We'll come back to, you're not going to finish the project right away, we'll come back to the project. Okay? So we're going to have about 10 minutes for this. I need you to go get scissors, and I'll pass out the glue in just a minute.
Do we have to do something?
No.
There's two glue sticks in here. I kicked my chair.
Okay. Quickly, get to your seat.
I found two glue sticks. I can't use my hands right now because
Okay. I'm going to give you this sentence strip. Okay, I want you to work quietly on this. You should have nothing on your table except glue, except scissors. Remember, these pictures are not in order, so you have to put them in the right order. Abby, I'll bring the glue in just a minute. We're making a sequence, a story sequence. I'll bring you glue in just a minute. Hey, you don't have all the pieces. You don't have all the things. Okay, I'll bring you some glue. I need the glue back. Don't forget to give it to me. You're going to glue them on the poster.
Pick up the one in the back. That was in front of me.
Emma, get busy, please.
It doesn't matter. You were well, it was right here. So all the glues are right there. And I just grabbed it. No, you didn't. I was like this. You were cutting. I was like this. You were cutting, so I get it.
Hey, remember, you are putting this sequence, you're putting these pictures in order. You are sequencing these pictures. We're only spending about 10 minutes on this. Yes, Brody, I've already said that. We're putting them in the order. We're sequencing this story. We're only spending about 10 minutes, so do it kind of quickly. What?
Take that one down. What is this? What is that? Okay. What am I doing with the ice cream? Huh? What am I doing to be funny? No, I'm just saying. I don't know. Every day, and then let's do something. That. Yeah.
You're busy. Gluing them in order on your sentence strip. Put them in the correct order. The correct sequence.
Because that's what all makes them.
Make sure you save some space. You're going to have to glue them in. What was that?
No, there's not. Yes, there is.
Then they'll need a spoon and start drumming, which is going to cause them to...
That was Brody's. There's another clue who did something with it. I didn't do anything. There's another clue with it. Dang it! It's not my disco.
It's the stage. So yeah.
I thought the brownie was it. Miss Graham, I thought this was a stage. That was a stage. Yeah.
We have about 6 more minutes.
That's the brownie. I know. But this was a stage. Now what was next? Ice cream.
The poster.
I'm just putting out whatever so I can get it done faster. I am too, but ice cream. And I'm not doing it in order. You're supposed to put them in order. I know. I'm just cutting them out. Not in order. I want to put the ice cream on top of the brownie. The ice cream is in the stage.
So remember, he needed a spoon, which caused him to start a band.
Because of spoon, he wanted to make a big box. Where's the band? There is no band.
Not a band. What's something else that represents the band?
Oh, the stage. Yeah, but
Make sure you're working.
That's what they are. Wait, animals? Why do we have a bag of fruit? I don't remember this. That's a juice. Why do we have a bag of fruit? For their picnic. He said go buy groceries.
Okay, we have about 5 minutes.
Oh no. I'm not even done putting up the stage. I'm not either. I'm not even done doing this stuff. I'm not done cutting already.
Come on, let's go quickly.
I ain't giving up. No more my last one. I did it. I got it up. I did it. She hated me for doing it. And then my lips got stuck. Together? Yeah. Where we went? Then my lips got stuck and then I had to pull it. And then my lips skinny.
Okay, now I want you to get a piece of construction paper. And you get a couple craft sticks, some Q-tips, and some ice. And then the cups are over there on the back counter, and you're going to create a moose or a mouse or a cat. That'd be creative. Okay?
I'm creative. The ice cream is really cute. Also, the cloud is cute. Emma's definitely gonna make a cat. Yeah, I want to. You don't know how. You don't know. You don't have to until you find it. Is this?
Okay, 3 minutes. Yes.
It's the thing that looks adorable. Look at that. Can I see that? My poster. Hey, where's my stage? Hey, Ryan, be careful. Wait, I never dropped stage.
Here.
I never done it. Okay, I finished. The dog wants to do it. I'm doing the mouse. I like donuts and I like dogs.
Go put it up there next to Brody's. Oh, make sure your name's on the inside. Make sure your name's on the inside.
Come with the stage.
Hey, you only get one cup. Okay? You only get one. Make sure your name's on the inside or on it somewhere. Put it up here. Pick one of the ones you know. Okay, so we have cat, dog, mouse.
I don't know. I didn't write it. I'm doing a little pig. Yeah, it's this cookie.
And Paige is not here. Okay, finish up your sequence.
I need it more.
Put it up there at the front.
Mrs. Graham. It won't move on.
They not say. What? Do it together. You want it? So you're going to grab the item, put it in your gut, and then you're going to create an animal. Either the mouse, the dog, the cat,
I'm just gonna draw
the
it.
moose,
That's why I'm
and
just
you're going to create a story like that.
because I
Okay?
can buy myself.
Yeah, you don't need that many. Guys, you don't need very many craft sticks.
A boat.
Here you go.
Oh, you cutie ice cream.
Hey.
I want cutie on top.
Up here, David. Quick, get your item.
Here's my stage. Great. Just three. So now you have to try to fit that thing
Right here, Samantha.
Well, it can't. It's this big. How do you think it's gonna fit through there?
This huge ice you are being a big help.
Oh, you want it right there?
Did it? And then
I'll put it on there for you.
I'm gonna make it.
now we're gonna go make it
Oh, don't forget your construction paper so you can make the scene for your animal.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to do the swing up. Why do you want to do a pig? Pig is fat. How rude of you. Pigs are really fat. They are.
Here, and I'll get you some
Fat,
string.
fat, fat. Like, you don't even want to see it. He is this big. He's fat.
It doesn't matter. You get to create it however
Look
you
at my
want.
teeth. His head is small. How small? That's this big. So is your head? No, this big. And his head is this big. And his stomach is this big. He's fat.
Hey, if you want some string, let me know.
I want to try it.
But I'm gonna make
I'm
it.
a pig. I'm making
Okay, you need to turn in your story sequence. Make sure your name's on it. Bring it to the front.
How are we supposed to do
You're
this?
supposed to glue it.
Okay.
Do some
Oh no,
string.
I need more than one cup.
You go, Mariah. No, that's right here.
These eyes don't stick.
It's okay.
How would you put yours? I glued it. That's how mine is. Well, good. Now, I tried that.
I think I'm just gonna
How can I have it? Got glue all over me.
Dang, I should have done this before and then this.
It's okay. It doesn't stick.
I should have done that before I glued it.
Maybe this is. I'm gonna wash my hands after. I'll wash my hands. Yours is upside down, by the way.
Quickly, get your items.
This is way too big. This is way too big.
Here, you gotta use this one.
I need glue. Where's the string?
Okay, I'm getting waterfalls over here.
I just want a short cut.
I'm gonna need a little more help.
There may not be any more big eyeballs. You may just have to use little ones.
That would be too hard. Dude, look, I just
Okay.
I'm making steak.
Yeah, I don't know how to do
You're not gonna be able to. You just have to blow them farther in on the inside. If you're making it on the inside.
I would like I'm gonna put a tail. I need some string.
I need glue. Okay.
I want some string.
Okay, I'll give you some. Go sit down and start working. Everybody's story sequence is turned in.
Can I use some number paper?
You use the supplies that we have.
I could use my magic trick with the string. Miss Grimm, it won't stay.
Glue stick isn't gonna stick.
I got it.
So,
Huh.
okay, here's what we're gonna do. We will come back to this in just a minute. Make sure you all have your supplies. And I want you to kind of set it in your own little area on your desk. Okay? If you haven't cut your cup yet, go ahead and put it in your cup. There's not any more big ice cream. Okay? Quickly, I need you to get these put away. Isaac, you need to turn your...
I know, I only got one. Oh, okay.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7. We'll come back to it, I promise. 6, 5, 4. Isaac. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you, Anaya. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I want you to put your name on the top. And you are now going to make yourself the character. So, you are going to write your own story. Okay, you're not rewriting one of these stories. You're creating your own story and making a sequence. So remember, we start small, we get big, and then we get small. Okay? You don't have a lot of room to write a long story. So we don't have a lot of room to write all stuff like this. Okay? You can go to the back. Okay? So you're gonna write your story, and then you're gonna draw a picture. Okay? This is by yourself, so I want you to do this quietly. I'm gonna give us about 15 minutes to do this. Quietly working on this. You need your pencil. Okay? Go ahead and get started on this. Quietly. 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 Girls, quickly and quietly, please. Okay, Jackson. get started on your story. We're coming back to this in a little bit. Okay, make sure you put your name at the top. It's about you. We're not talking quietly. If you decide if it's going to be your name or you can be, if you give Abby, if you give Abby what? Something small. If you give Abby, what? Are you Abby? If you give Abby, what do you want? Something small. Okay, if you give Abby an Oreo, then she'll ask you for some. So you're writing your story in third person, okay? Go ahead and get started. Quietly, okay? Get busy. Quickly. Get busy. Sit down, please. No, I know. Come on, Nevaeh, quickly. Sorry. Logan, we have nothing in now. Let's go. Think about the story that we read. Don't use the same things, but think about how it got small and then it went bigger. Logan, you need to write. If you give Logan, write that down. We're working for about 10 more minutes. I'm going to look for some people to share their stories, so make sure you're writing. You can go to the back if you need to. Logan, I need you to write. Start with an Oreo. You give Logan an Oreo. Write down Oreo. Well, you're not writing anything else, so I'm going to have to do for you. Unless you can give me an idea. What's something else? You have 5 seconds to decide. Good. Give Logan a dog, didn't you? Yes. Okay, draw a picture to match your story. Draw a picture when you're done.
Graham. Miss Graham, can we draw a marker?
You can work on your. Okay, you can work on your thing. We're working for about 4 more minutes.
Naya, go after you. You can use it after Brady. I want to be a pig.
Okay, go ahead and bring me your papers. Even if you're not done coloring, it's okay. Go ahead and bring me your papers, and then I need you to come to the carpet. Okay, bring me your papers. And go to the carpet. 5, 4, Trip. Bring me your paper. 3, Anaya. 2, 1. Okay. So I was walking around and I looked at and saw some people's stories that looked really good. So I'm going to have you read these stories. So you're going to get to sit in my pink chair to read your story. Okay? And then if you got your picture drawn, I want you to show us your picture. Okay? I picked a couple people. You got to read loud. Okay? So everybody can hear you. Okay? Trip.
When you give him the whipped cream, it will remind him of the clouds at the park. You will take him to the park, and then he'll want to swim. He will swim very high. He'll look at a cloud, and that will remind him of the cookie and whipped cream.
Awesome. Good job. Give him an applause. Good job. Isaac.
if you give David an Oreo, he will want some baked cookies. If you give David a cookie, he will want some pancakes. He will want some cake when he's done. He will want to see to play tag. If you play tag with him, he will want to build a house.
Good job. Give him a round of applause. Good job. Berkeley.
If you give Berkeley 8 Oreos, she will want some milk to go with it. Because of the milk, it will remind her of ice cream with it. Because of the ice cream, she will want some chocolate to go with it. Also, and she will think of strawberries too. And she wanted a picnic, but then it started to rain. So she wanted an umbrella, and when you give her that, she will also want a rain jacket and rain boots. And then she will want a Oreo. The Oreo reminds her of milk.
Good job. Give her a round of applause. Brody.
If you give Brody a cupcake, he's gonna want a glass of milk, and he wants to go, and then he wants to go to school. Then he wants to line there. Then wants to eat at school. Then he remembered that he had a cupcake, so he ran home and to eat his cupcake. In the end.
Good job. Alright, last one. We'll do 2 more. Samantha.
If you give Sam an Oreo, she'll ask for some chocolate. If you give Sam some chocolate, she'll want a lot of candy. If you give Sam candy, she'll want some ice cream to go with it. When you give Sam some ice cream, she'll want a banana. Then Sam wants an Oreo.
Good job. Alright, and Abby.
A drink to go with it. If you give her a drink, she'll want to go shopping. If you give her go shopping, it will remind her of a birthday party. She'll want to go to jumping down. Then she'll want some cake, and they will remind her of a drink. If you give her a drink, she'll want an orange.
Good job. Alright, good job guys.